What happened to you directly as a host on MSNBC in the midst of the run-up to the war and the responsibilities of the press in America, and it's the mea culpas that have really been uttered by the pundits and by the journalists over what the American press did in the run-up to war?
Well, I think what happened to me, the biggest lesson, I think, is how corporate media shapes our opinions and our coverage. This was a decision, my decision, the decision to release me, came from far above. This was not an assistant program director who decided to separate me from MSNBC. They were terrified of the anti-war voice, and that is not an overstatement. Anti-war voices were not popular. And if you're General Electric, you certainly don't want an anti-war voice on a cable channel that you own. Donald Rumsfeld's your biggest customer. So, by the way, I had to have two conservatives on for every liberal. I could have Richard Pearl on alone, but I couldn't have Dennis Kucinich on alone. I was considered two liberals. It really is funny almost when you look back on how the management was just frozen by the anti-war voice. We were scolds. We weren't patriotic. American people disagreed with us. And we weren't good for business.
You know, I had this unusual experience, Phil, in July of 2006. It was the 10th anniversary of MSNBC. And I was invited on Hardball by Chris Matthews to celebrate the 10th anniversary. I think first Brian Williams was on the show, and then the Israeli ambassador. And then I was on the show. And we were standing outside 30 Rock. It was a big deal. All the execs were on the top floor of 30 Rock, and they were all about to have a big party, and we were just coming out of a commercial. And I want to congratulate you, Chris, on 10 years of MSNBC, but I wish standing with you was Phil Donahue. He shouldn't have been fired for expressing an anti-war point of view on the eve of the election. His point of view and the people he brought on were
I don't know what the
also
reasons
important.
were, but I doubt it was that.
Well, we have the NBC memo. That was a secret memo that came out that said they didn't want him to be the face of this network, an anti-war face at a time when the other networks were waving the flag.
I think you might talk about it.
Phil Donahue is a great
Remember me
patriot.
when you answer.
I said there, Phil, you were a great patriot. We did have the NBC memo, the secret memo, that said they didn't want their flagship show to be you when the other networks were waving the American flag.
That's what it said. And by the way, that memo was written by a Republican focus group, a Republican counseling group that took the focus group and that revealed that most of the people in the focus group didn't like me. But I saw that, Amy.
And yet you were the most popular show.
Well, often we led the night for the... Nobody burned the town down on MSNBC, including me. Fox just ran away with the ratings and continues to enjoy that success.
Were you watching MSNBC that night?
I did. I saw it. And I called the kids. I said, hey, I'm not sure I did it soon enough, but I certainly was grateful for, I mean, I needed the pat on the back at the time.
And Phil, the irony that MSNBC now is supposedly this liberal, liberal network now, that you wonder, though, if another move to war came, how liberal it would remain.
Well, you know, the coin of the realm is the size of the audience. It's important to see this. When a broadcasting executive gets out of bed in the morning before his foot hits the floor, his thoughts are ratings. What are my ratings? Not unlike Wall Street people who get and CEOs, their first thought is the price of their stock. So, you know what? I was replaced by Michael Savage. So there was a desperate need to get numbers.